used to get a block like that one.
Okay. That's
So what? Welcome to the.
yeah.
We gotta do the intro. We can do the intro at the end, and we'll just record it over the top.
Oh, look, honestly, man, I don't think it matters. Anyway, so.
Well, it's Sunday the 30th of April, and we got the Spud And Bonsai show. I
suppose this is the first episode.
This is the first.
We're gonna see how we
it's
go.
a podcast.
Oh yeah.
But the reason why we're gonna make Let's Gaming videos, but time.
Turns out we can't be bothered.
Well, fucking hell, man! It takes like just you got to record the video, and video editing is a bitch.
Yeah, considering that neither of us overly want to do it. So yeah, no, that's I might end up doing something small, but it won't be that big. It'll probably just be me dying in Dark Souls.
We got breaks. We got time coming up.
We got a bit of time coming up.
So
might do something.
Then. But fucking it's a shitty, miserable week in the in the city.
Yep.
It's been fucking
yeah.
It's been raining non-stop for like a week, and it's funny because Mr. Lachlan here has got training gear on because he's ran out of clean t-shirts.
I've got my karate pants and my rash guard that I got from for MMA, and they're my last articles of clean clothes. So I'm rather desperate about drying things at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the upside, they're very comfortable. Very comfortable.
They're very comfortable. They look smashing, but it's it's like I walk into the kitchen and I'm like, holy shit! I don't want to fight right now, man.
Yeah. And they're got 16-ounce gloves on.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna wear the fighting gear, you got to wear the gloves.
Well, really, I suppose I go for the kickboxing thing as well. I've got like
shin guards. And
shin guards. I've got my karate pants on.
Boxing shoes.
Yeah. God damn it. Still, got to go flares. Get that 70s
kickboxing.
70s kickboxer look.
And a mustache.
Yeah, I could do that. I could get rid of the beard.
Do you think headbands are going to come back in
I hope so.
Martial arts scene?
I hope so. Headbands the shit. You just imagine that in MMA, and then they're just like, you just grab someone's headband, just like slip it around, and just hold on
to the headband,
punch him in the face. Yeah. Anyway, bring headbands back.
Bring the headbands back.
Yep.
Headbangers.
Fantastic. Nothing like.
Oh man, I've got a fucking cold. There's just something about as soon as it gets cold that people think it's okay to like go on a train or something.
Oh yeah.
I'm fucking sick, and as soon as winter comes, you get a little cold, and you can't shake it.
Yeah, that's it. Especially
pissed off because I got it right at the start of winter, and now for the whole next four,
be fucked.
I'm gonna be coughing up. It's just fucking annoys me.
Yeah, I think that's in like a lot of those crowded places, like in China and stuff. That's why they wear the masks, isn't it? That's part of it. I think so. You don't cough on people.
You don't cough on people.
Yeah. So
does it even work like that?
I think so. Well, I think that's a big part of it. I remember watching one of those crazy shows like Mythbusters or Brainiac or whatever. Yeah. Where they did like a cough test. I think it might have been Mythbusters, and the guy's coughing and sneezing, and just shit goes everywhere. And
the mask actually stopped it.
Well, yeah, putting his hand in front of his mouth made a huge difference. So I imagine a mask does even better because it covers more of your mouth than a hand.
Yeah. So, it's like I really appreciate when people do that.
Yeah.
But so it's like fucking.
I think it just makes you look like a dingus here because nobody else does it. So that's a problem.
It was like the other day. I went up to the cafe and there's this like chick at the front, dragging cigarettes and literally just coughing.
Oh my god! She's like everywhere.
Fuck man,
everywhere.
Somebody take her around the back and put her out of her misery because she sounded like she was dying.
Yeah.
But
still
absolutely puffing on her cigarettes, but absolutely no regard for everyone else sitting around her, man.
I think that's a big problem as well. There's a lot of people that sort of don't have that regard for a lot of people around them.
It's ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah. Fucking annoys the shit out of me, man.
Yeah, same. It's pretty frustrating.
But
what can you do?
I try, man.
What can you legally do?
Well, what can I legally do to them?
Nothing.
Nothing really. maybe like put like poison in their cup of coffee or something.
No, that's still not legal.
I
hate to break it to you.
Oh shit! But
I didn't know. Maybe what can you do and get away with it?
I do my best to eat healthy and look after myself so I don't get sick in the first place. But it just fucking infuriates me.
What about people who are sick going to jiu-jitsu?
Oh yeah.
That
by the
seems like
time-
a great way to get it spread to you.
Well, the thing is, at jiu-jitsu, by the time the dude's already coughing and sneezing, you've already got it anyway.
Well, that's another part of
'Cause
it.
you've
By
been
the time
so-
they know, you're already sick.
yeah, by the time they've got it, you're already sick. But, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
It's just ridiculous.
It is.
Just, fucking people, man. God
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
My life would be so much more simple if there was less people.
If there were no people anywhere. Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah,
Man.
there's no ominous stuff there.
Nah, nothing.
Yeah, speaking
ominous.
of people, like one of the things I like doing on public transport is you just watch people doing their thing, and something I mentioned before is this. I was looking at this lady on the bus on the way to work yesterday, which I quit. I quit yesterday, so
Woo!
back to being unemployed uni kid. Freaking awesome, love it.
Yeah, for about 2 weeks to
until I'm poor as shit again. Anyway, this lady, she had like a nice looking lady, had a fun conversation with the bus driver, and then as she turned around, I just got to watch all the joy and the light leave her face. And I was
With the bus driver or
no,
the
no,
lady?
the lady. She like turned around and like happy conversation, and then it all just drained away because she's just back to normal stuff now. She just goes and sits down. And that's the end of the happiness.
Yeah, it's like people don't smile afterwards.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like I don't know. It was just like it was an interesting thing just watching the eyes kind of because they have all this light in them and all this life, and then they just darken, and then the smile slowly fades away.
There's probably some arsehole coughing next to it.
Yeah, well that's fucking it. Probably
sick.
some prick sits and goes. yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
Asshole.
God
Yeah. Anyway,
damn.
so that was the thing. I was just like, oh, look at that. back to the mundane, turgid existence that you have. Good work, lady.
Good work.
Still, that moment of happiness. What a thing to chase for.
Was it?
I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. It is what it is, man.
It is.
It pisses me off, but you know.
Oh, what can you do?
At the end of the day, illness is a part of society.
part of everything. Yeah,
and
dealing with it.
yeah,
So that's like one of the benefits of eating. You got to eat healthy to start.
However, though, mind you, the amount of time I get sick, and
You don't get sick very
I don't
often.
get sick very often. If everyone got as sick as me, there would probably be not much sickness because everything would have just die off.
Yeah, well, it's got no one to live in.
That's
Actually,
it.
yeah, it's pretty rare I see you sick.
Yes.
I think I've had a bit of sniffles not a few weeks ago now. I
It
think.
would have been. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a bad time sense anyway. But yeah, a few weeks ago I think it was.
You catch a lot of your illness from your partner because she's
well, she's a nurse.
she's
so,
a fucking nurse, so
yeah, she gets
sick all the time.
yeah. She probably doesn't even notice it anymore.
Yeah.
And then I just sit there and I just get all the diseases. All the diseases there.
Just like walk
Yeah.
around like a zombie with shit out
Yeah, I
of
was
your
fucking.
face.
And then she just like, oh, you've just got a man flu. I was like, fuck up. It's not a man flu.
Well, there was that research that came out not too long ago that said men actually affected by flu worse than women.
Really?
Yeah, it was. I'm sure if you Google it,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly, it was apparently the disease actually targets men harder than it targets women.
I hope this is the case.
So this whole idea of the man flu is bullshit. It's actually legit. We suffer worse than women.
That's fantastic.
It's genetics, man. The
Do men get affected
flu.
by... Do guys get affected... Okay, so this is the first two results. Do guys get affected by breakups?
What did you
Well,
type
I
in?
wonder.
How far did
I've
you
got
get
do
in?
men get affected? And do guys get affected by abortion? So,
Yeah.
why do you think that you wouldn't? What, is this like guys don't have any kind of emotions at all? Is that what this is? That's what I'm getting from this. And I feel
I've
as though
got-
that's... You don't get affected by the flu. Answer me. No, not the flute.
I hate the flute. Don't play it.
Yeah.
So it was. Here we go. Actually, it came out last
The
year.
man called...
Study shows. I don't know. Okay, this is
Scientists can-
news.com.au, so it could be bullshit.
Yeah, that's it.
So some viruses can hit men harder than women.
I've got scientists confirm man flu exists. This is in The Advertiser, which is, I think, an Adelaide newspaper,
Okay.
although I could be wrong. And I don't really trust what they... Not saying that not getting on that fake news bandwagon, not doing that. However, I have been in the newspaper 3 times, and they have not got my name right once. So I'm just saying...
But you just got a normal name too.
Yeah,
It's
I don't even have
nothing special.
I don't have a complicated name. Haven't gotten it right once. So I'm just saying, sometimes they don't fact check as well as they perhaps should.
Lachlan potato. How do they spell potato wrong?
Yeah, they've called me. I've been called Shane Kelly, Lachlan Kelly, and something else because I was hanging out with Scallywag for 2 of them, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how, and then and I think I was in the paper for a karate thing, and then they might have. No, that was one of the times they got my name right, I think. But
because the whole article was centered about you, though.
Oh yeah, I think so.
How can you get the main character wrong in that?
You'd be fucking surprised.
Dumbass.
Yeah. Have you seen the shorthand that they used to write things? Because I full on thought this lady, like, I got interviewed. I was at like one of those army open day things that you can go to when you're at school. You know, when they're trying to recruit you.
Back in the day.
This was a little while ago. Anyway, this lady's like asking me all these questions, and I'm like answering, and then I see her notepad, and she's just like fucking drawing on it, like just little stupid.
Yeah, there's
And I was just like, I didn't realize obviously for a long time that they had this weird kind of shorthand, but I was watching it.
Yeah, there's here's some.
Yeah. Yeah, it just looks like shit.
Looks like a scripture.
It looks like scribbles, dude. Especially when you're like 16. You're just like, fuck this bitch. She doesn't know what she's doing. And of course, she did know what she's doing, and I didn't know what I was doing. So
she's just like, painted. Like if I was paying attention and I just started like drawing like stick figures and stuff.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. She's just like freaking scribbling, so it looks like her hands are taking notes. I'm just like,
no, obviously
anyway,
it takes too long to write. So
yeah. So they've got their weird kind of, which I didn't obviously learn until much later. And it turns out that I was the fool, not her.
Oh,
so there we go.
Because she's a journalist.
Well, yeah, I don't know. She still got my name wrong though. So
that's what I mean. She's still a fool.
Yeah. Anyway, scientists confirm man flu exists, and men suffer more than women from colds. So here's some pseudoscience-y stuff.
Yeah.
Men suffer more from coughs and colds because they have extra temperature receptors in the brain, and so experience worse symptoms. Durham University neuroscientist Dr. Amanda Ellison. So it's done by a female. That's good. That says that takes any kind of bias out from a guy doing it while he's sick. He's just like, fuck this, I'm going to prove that man flu is real.
Yeah. And then probably his department probably got sick of him taking sick days.
Yeah. So he's like, got to figure out that it's like, yeah.
I've got to prove, you've got to justify my sick days.
But when boys hit puberty, testosterone starts to act on the area called the preoptic nucleus, making it larger. Dr. Ellison said, when you have a cold, one of the things that happens is you get an increase in temperature to fight off the bugs. The bugs can't survive at high temperatures. Blah, blah, blah. Men have more temperature receptors, blah, blah, blah. So men run at a higher temperature and feel rougher, and they complain if they feel rougher, then maybe they're right. Well, there you go. Research published in 2009. I'm going to click on that link because I want to see what research it is. Because this...
we don't have time to read a paper, man.
No, but I'm just going to put that up there. Oh, no, it just goes to news.com.
I'll see if you can find the just read the abstract.
That's the end of it. Anyway, yeah, so according to this Dr. Amanda Ellison from Durham University, man flu is a real thing. So that's...
Ellison?
Ellison. Anyway, so there you go.
No, it's good. It's good.
All right, so that's a thing you can take away from this. Man flu is real.
Man flu is real, and and fuck people for spreading disease.
Fuck those people. So if you're one of those people that sits on public transport and coughs everywhere, cover your mouth, please.
Please.
Wear a dust mask.
Wear a dust mask.
Wear a dust mask.
Be cool.
Don't
be cool.
Be friendly to the people around you.
So that's been happening in my little part of the world. What's been happening in yours, fella?
Well, I quit. Yeah, as I said, I quit my job, so that was pretty great. I was just a kitchen hand, and I went in and I quit, and I found out that the head chef quit on the same day. So the guy was not in a great mood, but he handled it very well. So power to him.
So he's a proper manager then.
Yeah. He seems to have a gambling problem. But every time I've seen him like lose his shit.
He's a good manager, but gambling.
I think he's got a gambling problem. But what do I know? I don't understand it. All I know is that when he's come in over the football, and he said to the head chef, he's like, "Oh, you want to bet a six-pack that my team's going to win?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to bet with you." And the guy kind of like lost his marbles a little bit, and called him a soft cock and a bunch of other things, and that was quite funny. And then he's come back in later. He's gone, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." And I was like,
You should have. You could have milked that. You could have so much fun with that.
Ah, yeah, but
Could have just been like.
but I quit instead. It's okay though.
2-1 that I can stick this.
Well,
on.
that's what he. Apparently, the chef already owed him a 6-pack from something else, and he's like, "Oh, double or nothing." So I was like, "Okay, this guy wants to play it.
So
like he seems to have he's got
So
a bit of a
short.
short fuse about it. He's maybe he's got a little bit of a problem."
Oh, man, it happens all the time. Yeah.
Ah, look, whatever.
It's like when I was back in the day, just before I decided I actually didn't want to be a fucking tradesman.
Yeah.
You went through the same shit.
I
So
did.
Lachlan Potato is done a welding apprenticeship, and I've done an electrical apprenticeship. And
Potato is my real name.
we both come to the conclusion that being a tradesman's shit,
That working sucks.
especially physical labouring.
Yeah,
is
they expect you to do that shit till
hard
like
as.
65 or something.
Your
Fuck that.
body is broken by the
Yeah,
end of it.
the only people who think that is okay are people who don't physically work physically with their bodies, because it's just it's not good.
You realise you got a brain, and then you've got to.
Oh, yeah, it's like, holy shit, I better use this.
Better do something with this before I
Before I can't.
Before I can't really. But anyway, these guys at work back in the day, they would at lunchtime take the work van up to the local TAB to put their fucking bets on.
Ugh.
At fucking lunch, man.
Yeah, that's
I mean, this was before they had the smartphone apps.
Yeah.
But fuck me, just imagine nowadays those guys on the smartphone apps. Holy shit, they'd fucking blow through their pay.
Well, that's like what gets me is like you've got all the gambling apps, and then it just at the bottom says gamble responsibly. It's like if you are going to go and get this app, you're not going to fucking gamble responsibly. Who are you kidding?
But who are we to tell them what to do? That's
Well, that's
my
their
question.
money, and you got to have someone doing pleb jobs.
That's it.
Well, actually, you're building a lot of robots these days.
I'm building robots.
That's it. So this guy's going to put you. Mike Bonsai's going to put you all out of jobs.
I don't want to call
I'm
them
kidding.
plebs, but it's just
No,
like,
I'm kidding.
you're kidding.
Yeah.
Cool, a whole fan base of.
Oh yeah. Well,
like
actually, do we
people.
even have? Yeah.
No.
We don't have a fan base yet, so
Just
we're
doing
not
this
even
for
insulting
free.
anyone.
Fuck you, everyone.
That's it.
But I don't know. It's just like it's one of those things where like gambling addiction's terrible, but I kind of have this issue with telling people what they can and can't do.
Well, that's it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's free. Your freedom, and that's a big deal.
Yeah, well, it's the whole idea of freedom is to be able to make the wrong choice.
Yeah, and people, unless you are severely inhibited by something, you do have the intelligence to figure out this is a bad idea. You may not have the willpower to do much about it at the start, but you can generally figure out if you're blowing all of your pay and then you've got to pay your mortgage or your rent or try and buy food. Like, there's enough shit going on there that you can go, oh, this is bad.
Yeah,
But you might not do anything about it. It might not matter enough to you. I assume that's why homeless people still drink a shitload of alcohol and do drugs and things.
Here's what because
They can figure out that it's like...
I
think it gets to the point
Do you
where
think they can just handle being homeless and they're like?
Well, that's what I think it is. I think it gets to the point where like your conditions are so shit that you need something to distract you from. But those distractions are what making your thing shit, like your condition shit in the first place. So it's like this vicious kind of loop.
So you're saying that like people's gambling addiction they had struggled to weigh up the cost of having like a family and shit versus the cost of the adrenaline
I think
rush or
that's
whatever
probably
from
part of it. And
gambling.
I believe that there is a lot of studies done on you get that like little adrenal burst
like
from that risk of gambling. That's one of the reasons it's so addictive. That bright shiny lights and things.
Yeah.
Ding,
I
ding,
don't
ding,
ever
ding,
got
ding.
those. It's too noisy for me, man.
Yeah,
I don't like
well,
the flashy lights and noise.
No, neither do I. I do, however, like the fact that they'll bring you an infinite supply of coffee and chocolate. So you can sit there and put 1 cent bets on and just fucking palm that coffee button.
Coffee button. Get me a coffee.
You get like 5 coffees and you spend like $2. It's great. So yeah, you play the system in your own way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you got a friend there, and that way.
Well,
you
that's
can,
it. You sit there and you shit talk and you fucking.
You do everything but gamble.
You do everything but yeah. You
But
play,
but-
and then you sit there. It's like there's like your 5th coffee in half an hour, and you're just like, yeah,
Just
I'm
shake-
going great, thanks. I'm going great.
Like, I'm doing great, man.
Sit
But
there.
if you need, if people are addicted to that little risk adrenal rush.
I think that's what it is.
Why
I
don't
think
they
that's part
like
of it.
take up like 5-finger fillet or something to
Well,
get that adrenaline rush?
I think that because I honestly I don't even think that the end result of fucking that up is that you stab yourself in the hand.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, that's pretty bad. You get some stitches, but if you fuck up gambling, you like lose your house, you lose
Yeah,
your
I know,
family.
right?
Like it's so much worse, really.
And you still get that adrenaline risk.
And
of,
you've still got the
doing
adrenaline thing. And you know what? Your hand-eye coordination probably gets better if you're doing
True.
5-finger fillet. So, yeah, that's...
Replace that. It'd be the Mike Bonsai
yeah, that's
program.
it. That's...
Take all your bad addictions
And-
and just play 5-finger fillet.
That's it. Everything that you do for a little rush, just stop doing it and start doing this because it's going to be damaging you less in the long run.
And it's going to hurt when you fuck it up too.
Yeah, so you won't fuck it up the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah, play it with your friends. You know, you can have a little game out of it, and you can put some money on the table, get a pot going, and then whoever.
But the problem is when 5-finger fillet doesn't get it for you, you got to like step it up to like Russian roulette or something.
That's the next thing. Russian roulette. Oh yeah, and that scene from what was that movie? The other
Deer
day?
Hunter.
Deer Hunter. Man, that was
That's
a
fucking
thing.
full on, eh?
That was.
That's
That's like half an hour, and I was
half
just
an
sitting
hour.
there in silence, like glued to this. I don't normally get glued to movies,
no.
and that was a trip.
It's actually a really good film because it builds the characters up at the start of the film, and then it like puts those characters through fucking hell.
Oh yeah, that was an adventure. That movie was.
Did
Who
you-
directs it again?
I'm not sure.
I don't think I got to the end of it. I think I got
Yeah, no.
past that, and I got to the point.
You gotta watch it, man.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen all of it.
It's a terrible ending to the film.
I was going to say, that's Tarantino? Is
Nah,
it? Or is it someone else?
It's some dude, Michael Cimonio.
Oh.
Simonio.
I don't know.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Italian. I'll show you.
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah. Michael
Cimino.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway.
De Niro. It's got Robert De Niro and Christopher Walken.
Yeah, no, I saw
See me
Christopher
rolling.
Walken. I took this
Walk
watch
this way.
and I hid it up my ass for 2 years.
Oh, goddamn.
That's something I haven't watched, I think, all
Pulp Fiction.
the way through in a while either. Because it just goes for so fucking long.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Holy crap, it does too.
Yeah, it's good though. It's a good movie.
It's one of those movies that you finish and you're like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah, no, you get to the end of it and you're like, huh. What?
It's like 3 hours that I ain't getting back in my life.
But it's odd because I don't. The story isn't told in like chronological order really.
Yeah.
It's told by like their perspectives all the way through.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there and you're halfway through like Vince's. I think his name's Vince, isn't he? Vince's story, and then it goes like a little bit of whoever Bruce Willis plays, and he fucking like shoots him.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then he's in the next scene, and you're just like, what's
What-
going on?
Shit.
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah. No,
Yeah, so that spun me out a bit the first time, but that was the thing.
not chronological.
No, it's not. It's a lot of fun though.
It's fucking fun.
It's a good movie.
I was just like how they randomly walk in the bar and they're complete different clothes. And you're
Yeah.
like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's a bit odd. Yeah, no, it's that was a fun movie too.
Yeah.
Although a little bit of that time wasty feeling at the end of it.
Very much a time waste, you feel.
Yeah.
You don't learn anything from that. There's no moral story.
No, it's just a bunch of shit that
There's
happens.
a bunch of stuff that happens in the day of a life of a bunch of people.
Yeah, maybe that's the moral story. Is
Well, the dude who cheats wins.
yeah, no, I love all that stuff. It's
yeah.
just like, but that's kind of what happens. I mean, like that's the whole purpose of cheating is in
It's to
fact
win.
to win. I mean, and that's why they get so cranky at you when you cheat in casinos and stuff like that.
Have you
It
ever-
gives you an unfair advantage.
You ever watch the movie Usual Suspects?
No.
It's another one where you fucking watch this film and you realise it's all for nothing at the end. You're like, God fucking damn it. Literally the whole story you've just watched. So what it is, it's an old film. And look, I don't give a fuck. It's like 30 years old, so
Yeah.
you can jam your fucking spoilers up your ass because I'm going to ruin
If
it
you
right
haven't seen
now.
it by now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's this Kevin Spacey film, and at the end, he's at the start of the film, he's arrested by the police, and he's
Yeah.
brought in, and they're trying to find this mythical gangster, and you assume that this guy, the character Kevin Spacey plays, I think he's got polio or something, and he's crippled and all this
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And he's telling you the story about how what happened leading up to this, and at the end of the film, you realize he was actually the main bad guy,
Ah.
and he was lied the whole movie.
Huh.
So the whole it flashes back to what
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
and stuff, and it's all fucking lies. He just made it up on the spot with like just different names of objects of stuff he's seen around the room and shit.
Oh wow. Okay.
So like he took one of the names off the bottom of a cup he was drinking, and you're like, fucking asshole.
Yeah.
You literally watched this movie for 2 hours
and
and
you find
it's fucking it's all bullshit.
It's all crap.
Yeah.
All crap.
You don't even know what's real, if there's any real part of the movie that you saw, because it's all just lies.
Yeah.
You fucking asshole, man.
Huh. That's interesting. That's a big change in a lot of the movies that happen these days.
Oh, don't get me started, man.
They
Can't fucking handle it.
Yeah. Now, what's that formula for it? Because I know it's really similar to that Joseph Campbell.
Oh, that Hero of the Thousand Faces.
Yeah. I actually want to get that book. It's going on my to buy list.
I think you could find it on the internet if you
Probably, but I like owning books.
True.
Can go in my library.
Modern filmography, I can't handle it, man.
I don't mind it so much, but I also know what I'm watching. I know it's the same story, just rehashed.
Oh,
and I know
like
what the
every
purpose
fucking
is. The whole point of it
Avengers
is to make you feel great. It's just this trip
yeah, but
to make you feel like unique.
The
and
story's
special.
shit, and
Yeah, it's
the
most times
actual
not great.
filming of the film sucks as well.
That's the thing that can get me, and it's almost why I can't watch anything other than kung fu, like good kung fu films.
Yeah.
Is because I can't handle bad fight scenes. The timing of it, and this is something I think that happens when you start training martial arts, especially martial arts with any kind of like contact involved. Man, you start watching fight scenes and you're just like, this doesn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
These people are supposed to be really trained, and they're just like throwing haymakers at each other. And this is before we get on shaky cam, which fucking makes me want to shoot myself. It's like you sit there and they're just like throwing stuff, or they go for this like really dodgy looking, like old school arm lock. And the guy shouts out in pain. You're just like, okay, first of all, that doesn't fucking hurt. That's not even at the angle where it would do anything. And it's like, that's not a finisher. That's like one of those midway techniques that like lets you set up for something else. It's not even that great.
God, what was that? It reminds me of that. It was a film that only came out recently. It was about that retired hitman. And, it's got that dude. Oh shit! I'm gonna have to.
It hasn't got like Liam Neeson in it or something.
No. It's about this retired hitman. You know, have you watched Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find the name of it, but the premise of the film is this guy is a renowned retired hitman. And this gangster's
John Wick.
Yeah, Wick.
Yeah.
What's the fucking name of the
got
film?
Keanu Reeves in it. I don't know where you got Game of Thrones from, but
no. Well, I watched the first one.
Okay. I haven't seen any.
Okay, I watched the first one, and you know the dude who plays the dude who gets his dick cut off. Yeah, well, that character, that actor plays the dude who kills. So this dude, the dude. Fuck! The dude who did this and the dude who did that. So John Wick is this like retired, renowned hitman, and he used to work for this gangster. And anyway, the gangster's son one day decides to rob him and kills his dog.
Oh, wait. So this whole thing is like a revenge for his dog?
It's a revenge fucking film. But
for his dog?
Yeah, and because it's like his wife died and it was like the last thing he had, attachment. And anyway, so the kid realizes he's fucked up and goes and tells his dad. And his dad sends out a team of goons to go and take this guy to kill John Wick. But they fucking storm into his house, and he proceeds to kill them one by one. And you're like, well, after the first 3 or 4 have died, wouldn't you just go like, oh, well, this is not working, and fuck off?
Wouldn't you just like, no, that's something else like a problem I have. It's like regular hired goons, and like they're loyal to the point where like they will just like get themselves. They know they're going to die, and they hang around. It's like, who the fuck does that?
Where the fuck do you find these guys? I want to hire some for myself.
Like, like you pay them pittance, and then and it's. I don't even think you can really argue like, oh, but they're so afraid of their boss. Like their boss might kill them. This guy will kill them.
This guy's like a renowned retired assassin.
Yeah, like what the fuck are you doing?
So anyway, he's in this. There's a scene where they're in this. They're all, for some reason, they decided the best way to kill this assassin is to go into his house. Of course, he's booby trapped and he's got hidden guns and shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, my whole fucking thing is, why don't you just strap a fucking bomb to the fucking door, ring the doorbell, and when he opens up, fucking
is that
boom,
like when
gone.
it's like the same tactic of shit in the paper bag that you set on fire?
Yeah, same thing. But you kill him instead.
Yeah.
Or even that, you just fucking put a bomb big enough to blow the whole house
How
up.
about you don't let him know that you want to...
Yeah.
Just let him leave his house and then just fucking like get a bunch of guys on the street to just swarm a cafe he runs into and just like gun him down along with maybe like 3 other people.
Or just when he goes to the kitchen sink in the morning to like get a cup of coffee, shoot him through the window.
Yeah, there's a lot of it there. I feel
They're
as though
like fucking dumb. But anyway, so they go and they storm his house, and they're in this like hallway, and there's like 4 of them, and he's like fighting and kills one, and fights and kills one, and they still come in, and you're like, God damn, you've just literally seen like
this
4 of your
fucked up.
He's just killed 4 of your mates barehanded, and you're just going to go, okay, and go in there? Fuck no.
Yeah.
You'd be fucking out of that room quicker than...
You'd be out of the house, man. You're gone.
Fuck this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not getting paid enough for this.
I'm too old for this shit. Just fucking out of here.
I'm out. Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. Like,
God
it's
damn.
like you get some fucking loyal hired goons.
That's like, the plot of these films is just ridiculous. Yeah. And then, for me, the biggest is that they cut. So they'll have this fight scene or any scene, and then they just cut like 12 times in like in 12 seconds.
That's one of the easiest ways to tell that you have bad action actors is by how many times they cut in a fight scene. Because that's normally saying that they can't get the angling right. They can't get things like one of the best fight scenes I've seen was in a movie called The Protectors. It's got Tony Jaa in it, and the end of this movie, it's like a 5-minute long fight. It might even be longer than that, but it's one take, and it's like this 5 or 10 minute long fight scene where he's like going up these stairs, and he's just fucking wrecking everyone.
Yeah,
but it's a continuous fight. Everything's done in one take.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and that's what makes it so impressive. All the guys coming in, all the time.
Yeah, because the thing is, like when it's that one take, you can actually see where the people are coming from. It's not just he kills one dude and then it cuts 12 times and there's some other dude just there.
Or he's dead.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is, it's a really, really good thing. And not enough action movies do it because not enough actors are good enough to do it. But yeah, Tony, that was a really, really good movie. The Protectors.
There's not. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of good films out there, but the ones that they blow up at the cinema, like most of the stuff that comes out of Hollywood, sucks ass.
Yep. As I said, like I don't mind. The Avengers aren't the worst offenders for that. I think.
I haven't seen. I think I've seen one.
Yeah, I don't mind them so much, and like they're like kind of classic, big budget films. So they got cool explosions. They got nice special effects, and honestly, the action in it isn't too bad. It's like for those things we just discussed, doesn't do them the worst. I think one of the worst films I've ever seen for that kind of stuff was one of the new Star Trek films.
Yeah.
And there's like this scene, and it's got shaky cam, and it's got fucking the guy starts to throw a swing, it cuts to the mid swing, and then it cuts to the guy covering. It's like holy fuck. It's like no, and then the only kind of continuity has in one of the scenes. It's like just flailing arms. It's like has like 3 seconds of focus on the 2 actors fighting, and like these guys are supposed to be highly trained, combative dudes, and it's like, oh my god, it looks like fucking school kids fighting. Yeah,
just flailing with the hands.
All arms. Yeah, all arms. All arms, no fucking body control. There's no hip behind anything. It's like, god damn it. Anyway, the other one that cracks me up is when they like get a rear naked choke on somebody in a film, and like the elbow's way down on the center of the chest, and it's like the arm is like grabbing like over on the shoulder.
I think they do that so they don't block the face of the actor.
Yeah, and but you can get. I mean, like I've seen enough times on the UFC a guy get choked out, and you can see his face fully turned beetroot.
Yeah,
and his eyes pop out a little bit, and there's like fucking spit and shit coming out his mouth, and he's like just getting the crap choked out of him. You can see his face fine. Like you could get a realistic looking choke, I feel, and it be okay.
Yeah,
but totally they don't. It's like they grab like halfway down the shoulder, and it's just like, and they just hang onto their back, and the other guy goes, "Bleh," and like falls over. You're just like, fuck off.
Well, the other thing that annoys me in films is another cliche is where they just like punch the dude in the head and he's knocked out.
He's knocked out for like 5 hours. Like holy shit!
So
like you probably killed him.
Fucking
He's got brain damage. Like, you knock someone out. A bad knockout is like a minute.
Yeah.
That's really bad. You should go to hospital for that.
Yeah, well, you do. They do. Like UFC, man.
They don't get... If they get finished, they always go to hospital after the fights anyway. I mean, like, and that's as they should. I mean, they're really highly trained. I don't think people understand how good those guys are, even on the undercard.
Like a knockout where they just get biffed and they fall backwards and then stand up. It's still enough
knockdown.
Still enough to kill you, man.
That's still real bad for you.
There's some of those old school boxers died from that sort of shit.
Well, yeah, that's part of that. That's one of the things I think the UFC does really right is they don't have a standing. They don't do a count.
Yeah.
They don't do counts. It's like you get knocked down. Yeah, they still got like that knockdown rule. If you get knocked down 3 times or whatever it is, I think in a round, you're done. Actually, do they have that?
I don't think so. I think it depends.
I think
there's some sort of.
I think a few MMA organizations.
But I mean, if it's like the leg kicks and stuff.
Oh yeah, no. If you get dropped by leg kicks, them's a different thing though. I mean, you get dropped by leg kicks, you are on the way out. You don't come back from getting dropped by leg kicks.
But they're not going to stop you fighting because of leg kicks. You're going to get. I
mean, like one of the classic examples of that was Uriah Faber versus Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Aldo just kicked his leg into fucking paste. Yeah. That was like 5 rounds or whatever it was of just like leg kicking. That was brutal. And then you see photos of Faber the next day, and he's on crutches, and one thigh is twice the size of the other one, and
it looks like an eggplant.
Yeah, it's no good. He got the shit kicked out of him.
You're right. You got an eggplant on your leg.
Yeah, it's just
but
you know, like that's
shitting on about with that.
We're getting towards knockouts, and the fact that when you get knocked out in a movie, like you don't knock someone out and then you just drag them into a corner and they sit there and for the rest of the fucking night
and they're quiet.
You knock them out. Yeah, you knock them out, and they'll come back 10 seconds later and be like, because they got fucking concussion, and then they're going to get up, and you're going to be fucked off, and then they're going to
tell somebody.
They're going to tell someone there's going to be an alarm going, so it's like if you've knocked them out for hours, you've probably killed them or given them serious brain damage. At which point they might just die in like a week, because they probably have bleeding on the brain or something. It's like really not good.
Like some of the video games where you can knock out
dudes, and then just hide them in a fucking cupboard.
Hide them in a cupboard,
yeah,
and you're like,
I love that.
They're not going to wake up, are they?
Yeah, that's one of the things that they actually covered in Archer. Funny show, but Archer's protecting this chick. I think it's in the latest season, and there's a bunch of guys, and they've like had this massive invasion. They've locked the place down, and there's police outside, and Archer gets one of the goons to come in, and he like knocks this guy out, and it's like and then he breaks his neck, and you're like, and this chick like starts screaming. He's like, and she's like, well, couldn't you just, like, he was knocked out, isn't that okay? Or couldn't you just tie him up? And he's like, no, they always get loose. Like, they're not just going to sit there. Are you crazy? It's like, you have to kill them.
Yeah. I remember playing, I think it was like Hitman or something back in the day, and you'd knock him out, and then like you just drag him over to the cliff and like toss him off the cliff.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you don't have to worry about him anymore.
I like
it's gone.
I like trying to get it with absolutely no aggression rating, and so instead of the Firewire gave you aggression, so you just chloroformed them to death.
Just like
you sit there and you just like you grab them and your guy puts like his hand on the back of their head and puts the cloth over their face, and then they sit there and they struggle, and then you kind of like drag them down to the ground and they keep struggling, and you just hold it for like a minute and they just keep struggling and shit. It's really, really funny because that's like just the animation of it, and then you put them down and they don't get back up. You just chloroform, and they keep struggling for ages if you let them. And then you just leave them there and they're dead. But you don't get aggression for it. So
it was sick. There was this one level I remember doing this distinctly, where I knocked out every character, but there was a trash compactor rubbish truck out the front, and I just chucked them in there.
Yeah.
But I still finished it with like
no
perfect.
Aggression.
Yeah, because I didn't actually technically kill anyone.
The trash compactor
killed them.
Sure, you can argue that in a court of law. I didn't kill him. The trash compactor killed him. How was I to know it was going to close every time I pushed the button?
It's just like,
yeah,
that was ridiculous.
It was a fun game.
I just say, but fucking films, man. God damn, I can't watch them.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of inconsistencies for it. Like, it's hard to find a movie that has good violence in it.
Yeah,
and I do kind of give a little bit of leeway to superhero films. Because, like, you know, they're superheroes. Yeah, okay, maybe they can...
God damn.
Like, you know, you punch some dude and they go flying back. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure that if you punch someone hard enough for them to go flying freaking 10 meters back, you're probably going to put your arm through their chest. But maybe it's not he's not swinging hard. He's got like a pushing punch.
I do agree with giving movies like that.
You got to give it a bit.
That little bit of
you get creative license.
Creative license, but
also for the record, I don't watch movies because they're realistic. I have enough of real life most days, so
true.
You watch movies for a break.
But it's even then getting off down that road. You're going to talk about, well, I watch movies to escape, but it's like most of these Hollywood films, I feel like they treat me like I'm a dumbass.
Yeah,
like
and I have a huge problem with that. Like,
well, I didn't. They have some character that
like,
just explains what happened.
Yeah, I
no,
know.
we've got
exposition. Is that what
exposition?
it's called?
Yeah, you're like,
fucking hate
oh no,
that.
we now have to go and stop the bad guy from doing this. And I was like, no shit, I was just watching the last fucking
I didn't figure it.
40 minutes.
Yeah, my favorite one is like when they really go over the top. It's like, you mean he was under this mask? It was this guy that was next to us all along that disappeared every time that the bad guy showed up? You mean it was him under the mask? He's like, fuck me, I can figure it out. You don't even have to say anything. You just have to have him doing bad stuff, or maybe just take off the mask.
The other one
you don't need the full conversation of, oh my god, it was you under there the whole time. It's like,
the other one that shits me to tears is when they they say one of them's a traitor, but right at the start of the film they showed you who it was, and then they're like, "Oh, who's the traitor?" And like, come on, guys,
I know it's just
you
completely
fucking told us already.
Ruins the suspense.
But it's like they want you to have that little bit of information the characters don't have, so you feel like superior to them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this would just be a better film if I didn't know who the bad guy was at the start either, and that way I would just be like, "Holy fuck, who's the bad guy?"
Bad guy.
Because I'd be
What's
right
going
into
on?
it. What's
Yeah.
going on? But they showed you at the start, so you're like, "Oh yeah, it's him. Obviously, go fucking shoot him."
Yeah. One of the worst movies I watched the remake of Total Recall recently.
Total Recall.
Anyway,
that have
the
Arnold
original.
in it?
No, fuck no. It's like the original, and one of the things I really liked about the original was at the end you didn't know whether it was like he had kind of gone haywire because they put this thing in his head and it had gone crazy and he was about to get a lobotomy because he'd kind of just gone off tracks with it.
Yeah.
And you didn't know whether that was going on or whether he'd actually saved Mars from a corrupt bad guy and was secretly a spy.
Yeah.
And you didn't know. But in the new one,
it's
I don't even think it's on Mars anymore. I couldn't tell because they fucking don't have a good story. And they show you that he is actually like a secret agent. There's no real ambiguity in that.
Well, yeah.
And it's like, well, that's half the fucking fun of the other
original
film was like you didn't know whether
it wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger's acting.
yeah, wasn't that? You don't watch him for his acting.
No.
It's like, you ever seen Conan? You don't watch him for his acting.
I'm going to drop you in half.
My favourite thing about Conan is he actually there's a few interesting things. But I love it when he knocks the camel out. When he rides past the camel, he's like, "God!" He just big hammer fist on top of the pet.
He knocks that camel out a few times.
He knocks it out like twice. Either that or he knocks it out again in the second Conan movie. But,
yeah.
He knocks it out a couple of times.
And then there's one where I think also in Conan he knocks out a horse.
Yeah, probably the same thing. He just like punches it.
Just punches it. It goes and falls down.
I actually found out the other day he did. He actually trained in a couple of like sword martial arts. So he was working with a famous kenjutsu practitioner in Japan and stuff like that.
To learn how to sword fight.
Yeah, to learn like proper sword motions and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. So I'm gonna go back at some point and watch one of those.
If you want to watch another one, it's not Conan, but
the remake of Conan was kind of shit too.
Oh, I never watched it because it's like it doesn't have Arnie. It didn't have Arnie.
No, it had the guy who plays Conan. I've seen him in a few other things, and he's normally pretty good. I don't mind him.
Yeah, but
it's not
the whole thing about Conan.
You haven't got just post Mr. Olympia Arnie in it.
But the whole idea of it is, I think Conan was always meant to be tacky, pulpy kind of film, but it was like done right.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, honestly.
But that's the whole point.
Conan was fun.
Another really good one of those films that Arnie was in was one called Red Sonja.
Yes, no, and he's basically he's Conan in that as well.
He's Conan in that, but there's
I've seen Red Sonja.
Conan, but not Conan. Like, know it's Conan, but it
never really says it. And then it's like this like enchanted chick who's like super duper strong. That was a really fun movie.
She can't be with a man who's
weaker than her. Everyone's weaker than her except for Conan.
Yeah.
Except for juiced up Arnie. It's fucking great. Such a good movie.
That's a fucking. And he just is like they're in the lake and there's this creature in there and he's like just dives in. Kills it. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's so much fun. It's This
little Chinese smart ass kid. It's fucking awesome. It's got the whole thing.
Yeah, it's got everything, man.
Okay.
Speaking of movies that that have that kind of thing, have you seen the Raid 2? The second one goes for like goes for nearly 3 hours.
Oy.
And you know, like the first one was like just this basic 20 cops storm a building.
Yeah.
3 of them come out, and there's just like a shitload of mayhem.
They run out of bullets in the first act.
Yeah, and then it's just all weird hand-to-hand shit and whatever kind of revolvers they can pick up that have 3 bullets left and all that kind of thing. Well, the second one goes for ages, and it's like the producers or whatever just had a checklist of everything that they wanted, that they thought should be in a good martial arts movie, and then they don't care how long it takes to get in there, they're putting it in there. This thing has got prison fight scenes. Check. It's got like all these different kinds of fight scenes. It's got storming buildings, it's got car chases, it's got fucking everything you want.
Has it got like man's wife gets kidnapped?
I don't know, it's been a little while since I've seen it, but probably. It's got like all that kind of shit in there,
every
man. It's
cliche.
got everything that you think a good martial arts movie should have, it's got in it. But
stick
it doesn't.
Fight, check.
Yeah, stick fight with knives, fight with weird weapons, blind martial artist. It's got the fucking lot. It's so good. Is she blind or deaf? She might be deaf, actually. But anyway, yeah, it's got this chick in it, and she's got like 2 claw hammers.
Oh wow!
And she just goes to fucking town on people. She smacks this dude in the calf and just like drags it up, and it like tears halfway up his calf and then lifts him in the air. It's like
brutal.
Yeah, it's rough. A guy with a baseball bat, and he
baseball bat really versus hammers.
No, he's on like their team too. There's like 3 of them. There's like this dude, the deaf chick with the hammers. There's a guy with knives. Sorry, Crumbit, the curved knives.
Oh yeah.
Guy with baseball bat and baseball, and he like just fucking slogs baseballs into people.
Does he just have a bag of baseballs with him?
I think he carries 1 or 2 around with him. But there's this really funny. There's this funny part. They get told to go out and kill like a bunch of the opposing mob because it's like a bit of a mob movie. Oh, that's another thing it's got in there. It's got mob fight scenes. It's about mobs. Like mafia stuff. And anyway, he hits this guy's talking to like this other dude, and he just slogs this baseball, hits one of the guys inside the head and kills him. And then he says to the guy, "Hey, pass me my baseball back." And the guy looks at him, he's like, "Fucking no!" So he just like walks up to this other dude and just like kills him with his baseball bat. But he's like, "Hey, give me my ball back." I was like,
"Fuck no.
No, I'm not doing that. You're just gonna hit it at me and kill me." It's like, he's like, "Yeah." But it's got that kind of stuff in there. It's a really, really cool movie, and it's got like shooting guns out of cars. It's fantastic. Good movie.
I have to watch it.
Yeah, it goes for fucking ages though.
Yeah.
I didn't realise how long I was watching it before I went to work ages ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise how long it went for, and I was like late for work.
What were you doing? Where, Lachlan? You're late. Yes, I know.
Oh, the best late thing I ever had was I didn't even realise I was working, and I went to the pub at the when I was working at the Hibernian.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't realise I was working that night. I'd taken my little sister's shift, and I'd forgotten, and I just went in there and drank, and they're like, "Man, you're game," and I'm just like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "You're supposed to be working." I'm like, "I'm supposed to be working." Shit. Yeah, so that was a thing. Yeah, I was already I was like 5 drinks down by the time I realised, because I'd had 3 drinks before I like went out.
Yeah. So you in the kitchen drunk?
No, they were just like, no, don't worry about it. It wasn't that busy anyway, but yeah, that was they were very accommodating of me there.
That's just a normal Lachlan potato move, though.
Yeah, that's what I do. I'm so incredibly forgetful. But yeah, so that was a fun thing.
It's kind of funny because we're both housemates. I have to remind you to take your own washing out. Hang up your own washing. Speaking
of which, got washing to do.
Washing to do, man.
Yeah, washing to hang out. You know, it's not getting too late for that. Well, what time is that? It's like 4, 5,
something like that. 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Good time.
Yeah, it'll be dry by tomorrow when I need it. Right, for uni. I hope so.
Rain.
I think it's supposed to be pretty clear this week.
I hope fucking so. I need to catch up on my washing, man.
Yeah, it gets like that. That's why I'm sitting here in a rash guard from my old gym, and karate pants.
It's going to rain tomorrow apparently.
Balls. Oh well.
Not until the afternoon, but.
Oh, that's right. Time to get things dry. Yeah. So happy days.
Happy fucking days, man. It's everything's doing good, I guess.
Yeah.
We can talk about more stuff. Try to hit that hour mark, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon we can go for that. We'll go for an hour.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
Should be ideal.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get to the hour. We'll see how we're feeling. Yeah.
So that's about it. That's what happened in your world, lovely.
Yeah, that's pretty much my world today. I got a job.
Another job?
No. Well, I guess I do actually. Wanna have you at jiu-jitsu?
Oh no, you've named names now, man. I gotta fucking know that shit out. Can't be identifiable.
Well, that's why I use his nickname.
He'll know if he listens.
Okay. Beep. Just put that over the top.
Beep. Our friend Mr. X. Mr. X. At,
anyway.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. Anyway, so.
He's a cafe guy, isn't he?
Yeah. So I'm gonna work sort of. I suppose I think I've still got kitchen hand duties, but said something about juicy things.
Why kitchen hand? What's the appeal? Considering you've got skills and other stuff.
It's just easy work, kind of mindless. It's like, which is great because it's a nice break from university where I'm just getting brain fucked all the time. So
yeah, read this philosophy and understand it.
Yeah, we've got 100 and so pages of things for you to read. And you can't read them once and understand them. You kind of got to read them a couple of times to get the most out of it. And so that's, you're trying to read 300 pages a week of stuff, and that's on top of
all the
trying to remember all my Japanese things, which is not going so great, but that's fine. Yeah, just get on top of it and be right.
Oh, you get there, man. You get there.
Yeah, that's it. It's, engineering. You gig?
Me?
Yeah.
Nah.
Doing math all the time. It's like all I see you do is going over math lectures. I'm like, God damn.
Studying math. But the thing is, it's one of those things because you use it so often, you just get real good at it.
Yeah.
And because engineering and physics and stuff, it's pretty much the way I see people. I try to explain to people is like physics and science, that sort of stuff is just a language, and the language it's spoken in is mathematics.
Yeah.
So if you can understand the mathematics, then it's easy to learn the concepts. I know people who actually don't understand what the fuck they're doing, but because they can do the math, they can get the right answer on the tests.
Yeah, that would be real frustrating.
Oh, well, it is, but it's like eventually that intuition as to what's actually happening
they'll
comes.
get that. Yeah.
But as long as you can speak the language.
They're like younger guys, for the most part. Like
yeah,
kids.
I mean, because we're mature age,
Yeah.
those kids have been doing that shit since high school, because they actually fucking went to a high school that had competency. Unlike our high school that had like fucking 30 people in the year 12 level. You had like
might have only been that many.
It was only that many, man.
Well, I know the school only had 350 when we left. I think
was that it?
350 people, I think, when we
for
left.
12 years.
That's right. My primary school had 16 people when I left.
6 year levels.
Yeah, my primary school had 16 people when I left.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I remember when I think my primary school had 100 kids in the 7 year levels.
Yeah. Okay. So that's actually pretty big, I think, considering.
Yeah.
It's not bad size.
It's not bad size for that small town.
Yeah, for sure.
But you got to remember that a lot of the schools, like, it was a broad area. It also, that school, because our town was about, I think, technically it's like 1,000 people in the town.
Yeah.
That fucking area is like huge.
Yeah,
man.
I was going to say, but that's over a real big area.
It's a real big area.
Got, like,
very rural kind of town structure.
Yeah, if you were trying to, it's only got one street in it, but.
Yeah. But you had like people were driving like 20 kilometers to come to school at my school. Like they had the school bus routes and all that shit. So
I remember where I went to primary school, one of the guys, he had to walk home every day, and his house was like 8 k's from school.
Fuck.
Yeah, and he's just every day would walk to and from school, or like his dad would drop him off as he went to work, or whatever.
Yeah, so he's so much extra time. Yeah, every day at school.
Yeah, and it was really funny. He had to do the same thing from high school, because like we'd catch the bus back, and then we both get off at the same stop, and my house was 200 metres away, or it might have been more.
Why don't you just have like a motorbike or something and just?
Well, when we started driving, it wasn't an issue, but in year 7 and 8, it's just, you're walking home again. He's like, yep, just 8 k's or so. Wasn't that much further to where the primary school used to be, but. Yeah, and he just walked for ages to get home. And then some days it'd be raining and he still wouldn't get picked up. he just
Oh shit!
yeah.
Man,
every
I
now and
would've-
again, every now and again,
Because
someone would pick him up.
your town was so small.
Oh yeah, but if
I would have
someone
thought he
went
would have
past,
stashed a car or something. Like
Oh,
he could
look,
have just had his
and
paddock basher and driven
honestly,
that.
I know that he can drive because I saw him driving on the road in like year 6.
Yeah.
I watched him drive, like he just drove down the street, get some milk, and drove home in his fucking like paddock basher, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, whatever.
Okay.
So I know that the guy can drive and has been driving for a really long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. So that was the. Anyway, he had to walk fucking
small
really long
country
way.
towns, man.
Oh yeah, nobody gives a shit. There's only like 400 people in that town. We all know each other.
Yeah, but they're 400 people spread over like
Oh,
a 30,
ages.
30 kilometer square area.
Yep.
It's like your
Yeah.
population density is not much.
Nope. But that's most of Australia.
Oh,
Most of it.
most of it.
Except
Not
for, that,
here.
except for the eastern side, eastern coast. That's packed. Everyone wants to move there.
Southeast coast.
Southeast coast. Yeah, more to the
It's the
point.
best fucking place in the
The
world.
most habitable area in Australia.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Except for the government. I think you'd get fucked.
Yeah. We don't talk about them.
We don't talk about that.
We don't think about them. Not as. Yeah, it could be worse. Could have Canada's government.
Oh, I
Yeah,
can
all that
worse. We got
progressive
fucking
shit.
Donald Trump, man.
Oh yeah, we could have. Could have
I'm
him.
going to save America. I just hate people go like, "What side of politics are you on?" And I'm like,
I
fucking
don't
neither.
like any of
I
them.
hate them all.
Yeah. I don't like any of them.
I don't like either of them, and it's like you're trying to. It's like picking the best of the worst.
Yeah.
And you're like, you do realize that no matter which one I pick, they suck anyway.
They're not going to get any.
They're not going to
You're
get
not going to
anything
get
done.
anything I would consider worthwhile done. They're going to sit there and they're going to tell me why we can't have, or we can't have free education. Going to tell me why we can't have that. Roads are going to be shit. You're going to pull money out of TAFE systems. You're going to pull money out of hospitals.
Yeah.
It's like, you're all going to fucking do it.
What are we paying you for again?
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing at the moment.
And then they're all going to give themselves raises.
Well, yeah, politicians. They're not going to.
If politicians should not earn triple figure.
It should earn like.
It should look. You sit there, and if you're getting paid, and I can, yeah, okay, it can be a stressful job, and you are doing an important thing. But if you're, as far as I'm concerned, if anything in that or the entertainment business earns over like 70 grand a year,
What
Fucking
annoys
don't
the
worry about
fucking worst out of me
70,
now
80 grand a year.
is like the last like 10 years the government have really been trying to stop pensions. So
Yeah, I know.
they're forcing people to get super and stuff. But if you become like a politician and you get a seat
yeah, I
and
know,
stuff,
you just get like
you
fucking
get like
free
like
everything.
yeah,
for the
you
rest
get
of your
free
life.
for everything for the rest of your life and like $200,000 a year.
Yeah.
You're like, god damn, like you could support like 10 regular pensioners on that sort of money.
Fuck oath. That's what I mean. It's like you.
Ridiculous.
You want to know how we can afford that stuff? Stop paying yourself so much and get rid of state government. Don't need that shit.
Don't need that shit. They're
That
redundant.
was useful. That was useful in the fucking 19 nothings.
Yeah.
That was when it was useful.
When you didn't have direct contact with...
Yeah, or you had to fucking send... Yeah, even... Like, as soon as you got anything like... Well, obviously the internet. That's made things easier. But,
like, it's not even that now. It's like, to get from Melbourne to Canberra, you take a flight and you're there in like an
Yeah.
hour and a bit.
yeah, that's it.
Once upon a time, if you had to catch a
Yeah, like
train...
Yeah, that's a bit
Even-
different. Even if you're catching a train from WA to fucking Sydney,
Yeah.
that takes a long ass time.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
even from back in the day, in the early 1900s, to catch a train from Melbourne to Canberra, those trains could only go like 50,
Oh, that's
60 k's an hour.
Have you heard that thing they reckoned when they got like they upgraded all the locomotive stuff and they thought that the speed that you would go at in a train would be enough to tear your body apart, and it was only like 80 k's an hour. Like a whole bunch of people were like, no, it's going to kill you. You can't go in those things. It was like the fuck.
It's like those people who they used to think that you wouldn't be able to travel faster than the speed of sound. It's like
Prove that wrong.
prove that wrong. But do you think the same thing about light?
Speed of light. I was just about to ask that.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
It's
have
kind
they
of-
proven that things can go?
No.
No. Right, well, that kind of... I remember they had that little kerfuffle a while back with the Hadron Collider. They thought that they'd measured something going faster than the speed of light, but all that had happened is that it had flown through the wall of the Hadron Collider as it was going around, and it, like, skipped part of it,
Ah.
and went through and then got caught back up in, like, the magnetic part of it, and then went through the sensor box. And they was like, holy shit, that one moved faster than the speed of light, but it didn't. It just like flew through the atoms of the wall of the fucking
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
and then just like got
So it just
re-caught
took,
again.
just took a shortcut.
Yeah, just took a shortcut. That's all that happened. They're like,
oh my god, he's broken the marathon record by 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's like,
no.
Or maybe
It's
you
like-
got a lift on the back of a motorbike for part of it or something. It's like,
You just cut across where they looped.
yeah, that's it. Where a dog legs and it pinches back in, you just like run across there and just
It's like when you play like
cut 4Ks.
those old Super Mario Kart games where you could like skip half the track.
Yeah, watching the speed runs of those, that's great. They're just like, they don't give a shit what the track looks like.
Fuck
Fucking
that. I make my own track.
Rainbow Road, where there's a bit and you can shoot like a shell and then hit yourself off the side.
Yeah.
And it goes pooh, and you skip like the whole track. It's great.
That's what the Large Hadron Collider
Yeah,
is.
that's what it was.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that.
I make my own rules.
I'm out.
But yeah, I just find it crazy that
Yeah.
what we're shitting on about. God damn it.
Hadron Collider.
Hadron before that.
I got nothing, man.
Fuck. We always do this.
Yep.
Always
Anyway.
fucking do this. Physics, something about engineering.
Yeah.
Ask me about my engineering stuff. Yeah, anyway, so it's all written in math. So if you want to get good at physics and you just got to learn math. You just got to do the math.
There you go.
And the more familiar you get with math, if you're really familiar and good at the math, once you try to learn some new idea and you're like, oh yeah, I know how to do this math, and you're like, and you think about what it actually physically means, like you can just imagine like fluid or something doing its thing, and you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. There we go.
That's how turbulence works.
Yep.
Cool.
Happy days.
Happy fucking days, and then you can design aerofoils and
Yeah. Oh, that's what you're working on at the moment,
sort
isn't
of
it?
shit like that. Yeah, I'm just playing around, man.
That's it.
I'm playing around. My biggest killer at the moment is fucking time.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
Fucking being a.
You wanna study full time.
You want to study full time. I want to like
train
at a decent amount, and
Oh, look, let's be honest. In order to get kind of even passably decent at a martial art, you really need to put 3 days a week into the art, and probably at least 2 days a week into supplementary training.
yeah. Oh
That's
man,
all.
I fucking smash the shit
Well,
out
yeah,
of that.
you do more than that.
You're easily doing like semi-professional amount of training, but
Yeah.
I do it mostly to keep my head straight. Otherwise, I can't do the amount of study and sit down still. Like I haven't trained. I took yesterday off because my body's been sore.
Yeah.
And I haven't done much yet today. But I couldn't do it if I wasn't training as much. I wouldn't be able to sit down and study like I had been.
No, neither. And when things fuck up with the study, training makes you feel a bit better, and then vice versa.
Well, it's just like the kind of thing. I try to talking about that sort of like time management. Your grades at uni reflect your time management. Really, it's not about how smart you are. It's about how
for the
good
most part.
how good you are at using your time. And the thing is, like, a lot of the younger kids at uni, like, I call them kids because they're fucking out of high school and they still live with mum and dad, and they think that, like, sucking dick, sucking the lecturer's dick is gonna get them to pass and stuff. Like, God damn, man, you just do the fucking work.
Yeah, I know my biggest issue especially with the Japanese stuff, is they want you to just learn lists and lists of stuff, and I don't remember things well like that. Like, I know how I remember things, and it's not like that.
Well, you just gotta do the work to pass the tests at the end of the day.
That's kind of what I'm at. I figure, like, worst case scenario, because I'm still going to keep all the books and stuff.
It's just
that's kind of
a big game, and
you
just
game the system a bit.
Game the system, but like just those kids at uni, man, they've just imagine going home to mum and dad being able to fucking cook and clean for you.
Cook and clean and pay all of the bills that you make. They're going to pay. Who do you reckon uses the most electricity in that place?
Maybe the kid on his fucking
the fucking
computer.
kid who's on his computer all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway.
Oh, and it's like some of the ones that I'm not the best student there is, but I'm not the worst. But the top students, man, their parents are like engineers already.
Yeah.
So like, mum and dad, I don't understand this. Can you help me? Oh yeah, that's fucking easy. Just do.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh cool, thanks, mum and dad.
Some of the best people in the Japanese class are either fucking weebs, or they're people who have got Japanese family, or know Japanese people, and it's like, well, that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, you can go home and have a conversation.
You go home, if you've got like a Japanese friend, you can go and ask them if they're a native speaker, which some of them are. It's like, oh, hey, what the fuck does this mean? And then they can just tell you, and it's great. Or
you spend 10 minutes trying to figure it out.
Or
otherwise,
you can sit there and you can read it and think you've got it, but not really have it.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of a big difference. Anyway.
Yeah. I was just
or I could just be a whiny little bitch, I don't know.
Nah.
Nah.
It's alright to feel
No, they're the
sorry
problem. They're
for
the problem. They're the problem, not me.
They got it too easy.
Yeah, that's it.
But, you know, it's something about doing the hard work and getting the result that's going to make it worth more to you.
Yeah, well, that's like my philosophy stuff. I've been putting a good effort into that, and I think I'm sitting in high distinction on both of those.
It's fucking good,
subjects.
Man. But it's not that. It's like just those kids. They've never had to put the hard work in ever, and when it finally comes to the point where they have to put the hard work in, a lot of them drop the fucking ball.
Yeah,
because they don't know how to do it.
Like I went into economics. This is one of the things this was like the nail in the coffin.
So explain that a bit more.
Okay, so I was doing business units in preparation for a degree in business.
Because you realised being a welder was shit.
Being a welder, like I like working with metal. I like metalworking. I like welding. I don't really want to do it for a job. I don't want to suck in welding fumes all day. That shit's real bad for you.
Yeah.
It makes you blind. I'm already partially deaf. I don't need that to get worse.
Yeah.
Just bad times. So anyway, I thought, I'm going to go do Japanese because I'm interested in that, and I'm going to go do business because it's useful. Turns out that business ain't that useful.
Yeah, studying business.
So I went in and I did marketing. Cool. Figure out how to brainwash people. That was fucking great. Did management. Figure out how to improve my people skills. That's a good thing too. Really, really useful. Did accounting. Fucking biggest heap of bullshit that I have done in my life. It was just full of... mind you, the other units were kind of full of this too, but I didn't notice because it was basically just bad psychology. And that's what business is. Like, don't kid yourself, it's bad maths and bad psych. And then they just fucking relabel everything, and then that's how they get away with it.
You showed me some of the maths you had to do for accounting, and
Oh
I was like,
my
this is
God.
not even real math.
No, our mutual friend who I found in the accounting class, he couldn't listen to the lecturer and learn from them because of how bad the mathematical practice was.
Because he's an engineer, he would have changed it back to normal math. Did it normal math and then changed
it back to what they wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you can kind of see why that's a problem.
Shit.
So it's literally just bad psychology and bad maths. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of fucking people in suits.
Why? What's up with students in suits, man?
I don't know. It's like...
Who are you impressing?
Alright, so there's this fucking kid in my accounting class and his parents had gone on holidays. Now, obviously fairly well off. And they left him money to buy food with so that he could eat while they were gone. And he went out and bought clothes. And he's telling everyone in class, and he's like, oh yeah, I got this, and he's wearing his new suit. Looks like shit. He's bought like this fucking satiny sky blue fucking suit.
Who buys sky blue suits?
Well, this kid apparently.
Obviously.
Anyway, and
Sure.
he's got like a fucking, that like gross faded pink look? He's got like a faded pink bow tie. Anyway.
Like salmon.
Yeah, salmon.
Ugh.
Anyway, legit filth. And he's telling everyone, it's like, oh yeah, I got this suit. It only cost me, I don't know what he said. It was some stupid amount of money, like $300.
Hoi.
And I'm like, ugh, you paid $300 for that, and like in the same sentence, he moved on to, oh, but I'm really hungry at the moment because I don't have any money for food. My parents didn't leave me enough money for food. It's like, well, they did fucking leave you enough money for food, you idiot. You just spent it on a shit suit. They're all like that. One thing this kid used to do though, and
keep studying business, man, because you got a long way to fucking go.
You got a fucking long way to go. It's like I had a similar issue with people in management. It's like, honestly, if you need the principles of management taught to you, you're going to be a bad manager. If you don't have a fundamental understanding of what makes a manager a good manager,
yeah, but
you're not going to be a good manager. You're gonna read the principles, and it's going to take you like 20 years to figure out how to apply those principles.
Yeah, but is that just one of those skills that you learn by doing, kind of thing?
Well, look, honestly, no, not well, kind of. What it is. So, one of the things you've got to, and like there are some things that are good in there that you probably don't think about, like organising groups depending on how much time you have with this group. So if you've got to achieve a task and you've got like a diverse, let's say you've got 4 people in your team, they're really diverse. Well, you don't really need them to like each other or get along that well.
Yeah.
But you do need them to be able to focus on the task for the short term.
Yeah.
If you had them for a longer period of time, then you would focus on building personal relationships and things like that. So it's kind of, understanding those sorts of differences, which is, that's not really something that you would come across maybe in everyday life. But understanding that if you have to be taught that these people have their own individual needs and wants and that they're actually people, like that should just come from being kind of mindful. And if you don't have that mindfulness, it's really hard to learn in like, if that's not something that you've figured out after 20 years of your life, fuck, guy, you're probably not going to be a great manager, because you're going to have to be taught. You're not going to have that intuitive, like, you're going to have to be taught every single tool.
Yeah, but how many, like, your natural, I'll call it natural ability for management stuff, how much do you think that did you learn, like, whilst doing your apprenticeship when you had, like, bad managers and good managers? Like, how much do you think you learned about management from being underneath managers?
Think that I learned much from being underneath bad managers or good managers per se, although there is that part of it. But most of that's like organizational stuff. You really just... Sometimes you've got to work with people who are dickheads.
Yeah, but
that's
like
kind of thing.
Life skills,
but,
man.
Yeah, that's more like life skills. You kind of can't. But there's a certain kind of mindfulness and broadness that you need in a managerial role to be good at it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you need it to do it, but you do need it to be good at it.
Yeah.
And if you have to be taught those, you're not going to intuitively be able to apply them very quickly. And so you're going to need to spend 10 years as a manager actively trying to apply those things and be mindful really before they're going to be any good for you. True. And there's a lot of people that don't have that.
True.
So anyway, I did nothing, got pretty close to a high distinction.
Yeah.
I think I got a 79 or something like that.
Oh, that's annoying. Sons of bitches.
Yeah, but I was like, look, honestly, I didn't do a whole lot of that.
Yeah, you just sort of bluffed your way through it.
I didn't even have the textbook for the class. So
rebel.
It's like you didn't need it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
It's bad psychology relabeled and bad maths relabeled.
This is your business degree.
It is a business degree. And that's what I've gotten out of it. And so anyway, I've digressed massively, because the point I was going to make is when I got into economics, which was just the same thing, it was bad psychology with a little bit of bad maths, as opposed to accounting, which was a lot of bad maths and then a little bit of bad psychology. It was like the other way around.
Yep.
And I was like, and then I was sitting next to this girl, and I think she was sitting across from her boyfriend or to some dude that she was flirting outrageously with. I never really figured it out because I don't care. Anyway, she was sitting there for the last hour of this 2-hour class going, I don't want to be here, I want to go.
Yeah.
It's like, well, believe it or not, you're paying these people. You can go if you want. No one's making you be here. It's not like you're going to walk out.
Did you actually say this to her?
Yeah, I was like, cool. You can go, right? And she's like, oh yeah, but... I was like, oh, shut the fuck up!
Yeah.
God damn it.
God.
It's like
I had this...
leave. Just leave.
It's like they're fuckers, man.
So I did the other thing. I left.
I
was just useless.
Done.
Yeah, I was just like, well,
that's it.
I've seen enough.
Well, I got this a similar sort of problem because I'm doing some because I got recognition for prior learning and all this shit. Yep. So a lot of I'm doing like 3rd year fucking courses, subjects and stuff. I'm doing some of the later on stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like this is like these kids they've been at fucking uni for 2 or 3 years, and up until like week 6 they're still fucking talking in lectures. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, son.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's...
Speaking
of that kind of thing. Yeah.
But the best way I've learned to deal with it is you actually have to get in on the conversation. So if they're talking about, I was out on the weekend and check out this chick. And you're like, holy shit, that chick is hot, son. God damn. You get like right in there, but you go really loud or really inappropriate.
It shuts them up.
And it fucking shuts them up, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Well, another favourite one to do is a lecturer will be saying something, and you'll be like, "Sir, please, can you stop for a minute? I want to hear the riveting story about Jane and her boyfriend. Please continue."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir, but
I can't focus on you.
I can't focus on your math because this conversation down the front
is so
is
interesting.
fucking. I got to find out. Please continue. I can't hear properly whilst you're talking, sir.
Yeah.
Please, guys, tell me about Jane and her boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's another good way of... I'm going to start doing that one, actually. That's fucking awesome.
Because what it does is it shuts up the whole room and draws attention on them.
Yeah, and then they don't like that.
And they don't like that.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, and then I suppose you can hear that, because I hear people talking, I do things to shut people up.
Yeah.
And then I hear, oh, yeah, that guy's an arsehole. I was like, yeah, fuck you. Like, I'm paying like $1,000 to be here.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to you.
Yeah, there's fucking...
Yeah, there are more kids in this economics class, and they were on their phone, like, watching things on Facebook really loudly, in the middle of the class, the guys up the front, talking about supply and demand, which is not a difficult concept, really.
Yeah.
And they're just watching things, and then they ask, the guy's like, okay, go do some questions in the book. Fucking no worries. Doing questions. Then they're like, oh, what does this mean? No, I can't remember what the guy's name is. I didn't really.
It doesn't matter.
Anyway, yeah.
Sir.
They're like, oh, what's this? And he's like, and I'm just like, holy fuck, he like just spent 40 minutes telling you what this is, and you're just gonna go and ask him. Gonna go WWE style on them.
Yeah, elbow drop from the back row.
Yeah, I'm gonna like launch myself off my table and just onto him.
Oh man.
Anyway, but it's just like
it's the worst.
Anyway, yeah. So there was that. There was this dumb chick. And there were just a few other things. I went dumb. And I was sitting in there, and I had a few people on this table, and I was talking to them. Nobody wants to talk back. So I'm just like, well, part of this is we're supposed to sit around, like, first week, get to know people. Nothing. They were just like, oh yeah, or just like one word answers, and then look back at their phones, the computer, and was like, well, I hate all of you people. I'm going. So yeah, I got hour and 50 minutes in, and then I got sick of listening to this chick. It was 10 minutes ago. Nothing was really happening. It had devolved into a class full of children. And I was like, well,
I can't believe how poor some of their social skills are, man.
Oh yeah, that's
like I don't know. Scary thing. It's
they're all sitting there in their fucking like nice clothes with their really well done hair, and they're just like,
and they're just glued to scrolling through Facebook feeds. It's incredible, man.
Yeah,
how the fuck? I don't know how the fuck they get anything done when all they do is sit there and scroll through Facebook
I don't think a lot of them do, to be honest. That's why they'll sit there and get shit marks.
Yeah, but they get shit marks, and they put like 4 or 5 times the amount of time. Like, I say time in quotation marks because the time they spend studying, they might have the fucking window open on here with their work. They have YouTube open on another one, and they got the Facebook Messenger and shit on the other.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you get any of this work done, man?
Yeah, that's it. That's quality time versus time.
Yeah, it's like I can put an hour of solid studying in, and I know I've got a solid hour in, because it's like what we were talking about before. You've got to figure out how to game the system to get.
Well, that's actually something I have got a lot better at, is improving like my time to quality time.
Yeah,
and that's gotten a lot better this year.
Yeah,
like writing all those cue cards, I've done it and used them in like the last 2 or 3 days or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's just been, there's like 300 cue cards in that.
Yeah.
And as opposed to, that would have taken me ages to do, because I would have had something going on and I would have been watching a video.
You're fucking around. You're not fully focused on what you're doing.
I've got that, any of those super repetitive ones, writing out kanji, that used to take me forever to do like a page of that, and now I can sit there and just like, I'll do a page in like 2 minutes or something.
Is that because you just focus better?
Yeah, that's something that's actually gotten better since I started university, is that I can spend larger periods of time studying.
Yeah.
Because when I started, I had like half an hour in me, and then I'd start to get a bit brain dead, and I'd have to have a break, and now I can go for like 4 hours or something.
That's good, man. That's good. It just means you're self-improving.
Yeah, it is, with the exception of reading philosophy things, because that is designed to be a brain fuck.
Those guys who wrote all that stuff are next level geniuses, man.
Oh yeah, and part of it though, one of the things that fucks me up with reading philosophy papers and things like that is that I get stuck on thought tangents. So I'll hit something I find interesting, and then I've been sitting there thinking about it for like 20 minutes, and I was like, holy shit, I've got to keep reading.
Keep reading, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I get caught up in what
Yeah.
I think about their opinion.
I do the same thing,
Yeah.
but with like math, it's like you learn about some part of math, but you only need like the surface to solve some of the physics
Yeah.
problems. But there's like a whole another,
Right, there's
and
a
then
lot of
by
stuff
the
going
time
on.
you know it, you're looking at these $1 million problems that if you can figure out how to solve,
Nobel Prize.
No, it's not Nobel Prize. In math,
Oh,
they've got a bunch
got it.
of problems. Like there's like 10 problems. They're called the millennial problems,
Okay.
or something like that. And
Whatever your math equivalent of that is.
well, yeah. So I think only one of them's been solved.
Okay.
And if you can solve any of these problems or disprove the theories or whatever they are, some department somewhere in the world pays you $1 million.
Oh, fuck yeah.
There's only one been solved, and the dude refused to take the money.
Did he?
Yeah,
Huh.
because he's a bit mad.
Okay. Well, maybe that's what you got to be to.
I honestly think he was a bit egotistical
Oh, okay.
to not accept that money, considering the department already has that money
Set aside.
set aside for it. And if he didn't personally want to use it, $1 million, man, you could, I don't know, create a scholarship for some math genius
Yeah.
or
That's
something.
it. Put it back into improving
The
improving
education
the industry.
system.
Or, yeah, improving the industry.
So anyway,
Anyway,
I
yeah.
thought it was a bit selfish of him. But yeah, one's been solved, and they
That's pretty cool.
legit have that money there. So
Oh, it's not a bad thing.
yeah, but uni's just it's a funny place to
It
be
is.
as an older person.
It's funny coming from the world of like tradespeople
Holy fuck!
and going into like I actively swear at university just to see what it does to people.
Yeah,
So like I was in my critical thinking class, and a lot of the time the guy in there is eccentric as fuck. He's great. Anyway,
madman.
yeah, he is. He purposely says the wrong thing just to see who's paying attention.
What?
He gives you misinformation just so you'll pick up on it, and if nobody picks up on it, he makes it more and more outrageous until somebody does, just to see whether.
So example.
So he'll sit there and we'll be reading something in a textbook, and for example, we're reading about ad hominem, one of the argumentative fallacies,
yeah.
which is basically attacking the person, not the argument.
Yeah.
Okay, so he will sit there and we'll be going through them, and he'll say, so ad hominem is where you don't attack the person, you attack the argument. And then he'll just sit there and just wait for you to say, no, it's the other way around. And he's like, oh, okay, and then writes it up. So that's kind of like how he checks that you're getting the message.
Yeah.
But he'll also do things like we had the mid-semester test, and we're all sitting down there, and he purposely gave us the wrong name for the tutor. So he didn't give us his name. He's like, oh, and your tutor is this person. Yep. And then sat there, and I looked at him, because I know that's not his name. And then I looked around to see how many people had just gone, oh, okay, and written it down on top of their paper. But he just does things like that. He just gives you the wrong information for a laugh, or to see whether you're paying attention.
Do you think maybe he did that on purpose so the other tutor who had to mark all that shit would have to mark
No,
it all?
because I know all
was that
the
for
tutors.
bonus
I know
marks?
all the tutors. Yeah,
This
check
guy
out
sounds
check
like-
out my English.
English.
Um,
Englishu.
Ingrishu. Igirisu. Is that the? Yeah, I don't know. They got some stupid fucking word for it. Anyway, yeah, no, I know because the other tutor for that class is who I have for philosophy.
Yeah.
And the other one's the unit convener, and he's also batshit crazy, but he's old, and his name's not Edward, which is the name he gave us, which
Not
is
Edward.
wrong. Yeah, well, it's the name he said. Oh, and your tutor is Edward. I can't remember what he used for the last name. It's like, I know that's not your fucking name, buddy. I know that's not your name.
Did you put down the right one?
No, I put down Edward, crossed it out, and then wrote his name. It's like, just for a laugh. I also did a bunch of stupid drawings on it and things like that.
Yeah.
He said to make it beautiful, so I used all the colours in my 4-pen. I drew comics. I did I sat there for the last half an hour after I finished and just wrote
doodling.
shit and just I don't know.
We don't have really any of those kind of guys in the engineering department. They're all very straight.
Yeah,
Tend to be pretentiously dickish.
yeah.
It's
That's
like this one guy, one of my ones, and he's this asshole, full on asshole. He's like, I've got no issue with failing you guys because so one of my mechanical type courses, and he's like, because if you fuck up this course, in the real world you kill somebody.
That seems like a reasonable thing.
Yeah, so it's my duty
to fail you if you need to be failed.
I'm going to set the bar here, and if you can't make it, you fail.
Yep.
And you're like, yeah, cool. And then he is like that the whole semester.
Yep.
And he just like hates undergrads. It's like, you're not here for a free ride, man.
Yeah.
You've got to do the work. I'll teach you how to do it. But if you can't do this, you're going to kill someone, and I can't let you pass.
And I won't pass you for it.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a bad thing. That's better than TAFE. I mean, at TAFE it was like, if you can't figure it out, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to make the test progressively easier until you pass.
Yeah, but
like, holy shit, yeah, like.
But the thing is, as a welder at TAFE, honestly, you're just welding stuff.
Well, yeah, there's a bit more to it for the apprenticeship. But yeah,
I know there's more to it to the apprenticeship, but at the end of the day, if you're not 100% sure, who do you ask about whether
you ask the guy who hasn't killed people?
You ask the engineer,
yeah,
and the engineers hopefully should know his shit enough to go, yeah, if you do that, it's gonna crack here somewhere.
Yeah, that's why
it's gonna break and kill people. That's why they make the
design
plan.
Things. And you weld it together. Actually,
but the thing is there's no engineer to check the engineer's work. Like,
yeah, so the engineer has to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually, speaking of little fuck ups like that. On one of the Boilermaker pages I have on Facebook, they had this. It was a design or whatever, and the welding commands on it. One of them was like an impossibility. It was like you need a full weld, which is both sides, and there's a certain sign for that. So there's obviously like welding signs. And then on the other side, because it's got the line to indicate the bit of metal.
Yeah.
And then it'll have the welding side on one sign, and one thing means either you do it on both, and then it's got a number next to it for the thickness of the weld.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so it had one symbol on one side, which means weld that on both sides, and it was a 6mm weld. And then on the other side, it had a different welding symbol and had that as a 4mm weld. It's like, well, that's impossible. Like, I know how to read that, and it's like, you want me to like full fillet weld, and then you want me to butt weld on the other side. Well, it's not going to be a butt weld because it's already like a fillet weld, and you want me to do it smaller than the other one. What the fuck? It's just
engineer.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. There's some bad ones, man.
Yeah, it wasn't. I think that's what it was. I can't remember what the symbol was. It was something stupid.
I've seen some shit where they've. It's like the funniest ones is where like they have like the lip or something.
Yeah.
But they don't give themselves enough clearance to get the screw out properly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fucks them up, and they're like, fuck.
Yeah. How many people? Because you guys have to work with CAD and things like that. How many people do, like, put on the thing, let's say you've got a bolt or whatever that you have to slide through, how many people put the bolt hole the same size as the bolt? Because I know that doesn't work from personal experience. You can't put the bolt hole the same size as yeah, if you've got like a 4mm bolt that you're putting through it, and you put the bolt hole as 4mm, it never works.
No, you gotta go like 5.
Yeah, you have to, because and you should. That's why they have heads on the bolts. Like, you can't have it super slippy, but you need some room, because the bolt is never going to be machined to 0.01 of a mil tolerance. Like,
this is another misconception about bolts. It's a fucking interesting podcast. Misconception about bolts.
That's it.
Did you know bolts? It's not the bolt that's meant to take the force. The idea of the bolt is to actually
squeeze it
together. And it's meant to be friction that holds the thing in place, not the actual bolt itself.
Yeah.
And people don't. A lot of people don't understand that. They think, the bolt is what takes the force, the actual shaft of the bolt. And you're like, no. The bolt just pulls it.
It just holds things together.
Pulls it together, and it's the friction between the two things you bolted that's meant to hold it in place. And
there you go.
Well, that's where sometimes they bolt and then weld as well.
Yeah.
It's because you don't want the bolts. Bolts shear pretty easy.
Yeah, for sure.
And you don't want them taking any of the force. It should be all in the friction.
Yeah, that's. I don't know.
Like back when I was working as a apprentice, one of the jobs we worked on was this in an army base, but the shed was for it was like a logistics shed. So they had like where they store all the shit, like fucking pants and boots and shoelaces and just stuff. But the fucking shed was like designed to be hit by a bomb and not fall over. So it was like over-engineered as fuck. It was like
I love things like that.
It could survive like a level 5 hurricane. Like it was like 300-kilometer winds and stuff.
Yeah. Well, they're gonna have clean clothes at least.
Yeah, they're gonna have dry, clean clothes.
Yeah.
but like where the struts on the fucking roof and all
Roof
that
truss, yeah,
roof truss, sorry. They were like over engineered as fuck. They were like 20 mil bolts bolting the plates together.
Yeah.
And then they were like welded, full weld as well. This thing ain't going nowhere, son.
Yeah. But the thing that cracks me up about stuff like that, especially with the welding involved, is half the time that's not a good idea because you just put so much stress in the metal from heat.
Yeah.
Like something hits it and the whole thing is one of my favorite things about cutting spring steel or steel used in saw blades.
Oh, it's because it's under tension.
Oh man, you cut that thing and you cut the last bit and it goes doink, and then fucking spins off the side of shit. It is so dangerous to cut saw blades and it's so much fun. You sit there.
Danger's my middle name.
Yeah, but yeah, it's you can cut really really high tension metal and you can hear it move.
Yeah.
And it like makes these weird squeaking sounds and
like
and
a tree
ringing.
kind of breaking.
Yeah, and it's just like you're like oh
It's gonna go.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And also one thing that we used to do, which was really funny, and I don't know why the guy used to do this. One of the dudes he used to work with, he was telling me about how he had an old saw blade that was like used up basically.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna blame my nose.
Yep.
Fucking assholes on the train. God damn sons of bitches.
Yeah. Anyway, he was telling me, he's like, oh, you've got these old saw blades which were really really good.
Was this an old fucking asshole that you hated?
No, fuck that guy. He's a story for another day. I can spend a whole podcast on him.
Fuck it. Might as well do it.
No, because we're already at that time that we want to go, and I'm going to have to piss real soon. So, anyway, he had the saw blades. He's like, oh, you know, the new ones, they just don't shatter like the old ones. And he's just got this new saw blade and fucking smacked it on the corner of this bench. Now, when saw blades go, they go.
Yeah.
Anyway, because they're like all high tension steel. Anyway, he hit this saw blade and it's just stayed intact. I was standing right in front of it with no eye protection or anything. And I'm like, whoa! and he just started laughing. He's like, yeah, no, the old ones go off like this one and then hit it like away from me. And it just fucking exploded. Like, chung, it just goes, ba-doing!
Yeah.
And just shoots this shit
Probably
everywhere.
Like, no offense, but it's probably shitty Chinese stuff.
Well, and there is a huge difference between that. We got a pallet of, two
pallets of steel.
2 pallets of steel, and one of them was Chinese, one of them was from New Zealand, I think. And New Zealand has the same steel standards as we do.
Australia,
Australia does. Anyway, we had them on the forklift, and New Zealand steel is, it's got a bit of a bow in it, but it's relatively straight. These are long bits of RHS,
rectangular, hollow.
It's rectangular, hollowed steel, or rolled is actually what it should be. Rolled hollow steel, and that can be everything from circular to rectangular.
Okay.
Anyway, and New Zealand steel relatively straight, really good. Chinese steel bowed and hit the ground.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and we had this forklift. It wasn't max height, but it was max height and still being able to get in the shed.
Was that because that the standards, they used the same standards, but the New Zealand guys were over that standard? Like
no,
the bare minimum?
They meet
the bare. I know they meet the
minimum
bare minimum, but is that because it's like over engineered?
Nah, it's just good quality. It's just
better quality.
Better quality steel. Has to do with like the foundry process and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Chinese steel, which although you can use it, hasn't met manufacturing standards, like in terms of the manufacturing of the steel.
Okay.
Their quality is way low, like their standards are way low. I don't even know if they have any laws in place for it, to be honest.
No, they just build shit till it falls down, and then they go.
And then they just kills a bunch of people and they just go build it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's
probably kill the engineer or whatever.
Probably. Oh well, you know what? Yeah, that's your comeuppance. Anyway,
send him to jail for life. But it wasn't my fault. It was a shitty steel. No, our steel is fabulous.
Oh yeah, I can totally see that being like a Mao thing, Chairman Mao. No, our steel is great. It's like, well, it's not actually. It's all pig iron. If I remember my Cultural Revolution stuff correctly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're gonna have to call it there. My feet are getting twitchy and it's getting sore to hold this.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway, hour and a half.
Hour and a half, not bad. It's our first proper podcast, and I'm quite happy with the way it went. I don't know about you.
It goes alright. We've digressed a little bit. Maybe we'll get some topics or whatever for next time. Anyway.
We got some topics here. We just we didn't get past number 1.
Oh, okay. Was that man flu?
No, it was what's been happening in Lachlan.
Oh, yeah, okay. Happy days. Happy days. All right. Well.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's it. All right. Hopefully, this was entertaining to some people.
That's actually fun for us. I don't
Yeah,
care.
well,
I'll probably
either way.
make another one.
Yeah, I'm happy to do another one.
This is fucking way fun. It's
Right.
actually more fun. At least it's easier than playing video games at the same
Well,
time.
yeah, because we just shit talk. I mean, that's all we do.
That's
with
what we do
video
with
games.
video games, but
Yeah.
now we don't actually have to talk about the shitty video game.
Yeah, which is great. I'm actually going to go and pull that other one off. I think because we're not doing any more for the series.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't think anyone else has viewed it. Anyway,
We'll get there one day, love.
one day.
Lock
All
it
right.
in.
Anyway, we're done. I hope you
Bye-bye.
enjoyed it. Bye bye.